Good morning. Today we will discuss regarding modulation and demodulation in signal conditioning. So, what is the meaning of modulation? So, it is the process of changing one or more properties like amplitude, frequency, or phase of the analog carrier in proportion with the information signal. So it is impractical to propagate information as it is over standard transmission media. Reverse process of modulation and converting the modulated carrier back to the original information is known as demodulation. So this is regarding modulation and demodulation. So components of modulation system. So first is modulator. So it is the circuit which performs modulation, that is called a modulator. Then information, message or modulating signal. So it is the base signal to be transmit. So it is low frequency signal that have to be modulated. Then carrier signal. So it is the high frequency signal used to carry information signal. Then modulated wave or signal. So it is the carrier signal that has been acted on by information signal. So it is high frequency signal. And last one, that is demodulator. It is the circuit in receiver which performs demodulation. Types of modulation. So first type is analog modulation. So in that, first is amplitude modulation, that is also called AM. So if information signal is analog and amplitude of the carrier is varied proportional to amplitude information signal, AM is produced. That is amplitude modulation is produced. B is frequency modulation, that is FM. If frequency of carrier signal is varied proportional to information signal, FM, that is frequency modulation, will be produced. Third is phase modulation, that is PM. If phase of a carrier is varied proportional to amplitude of information signal, phase modulation that will be produced. Second type of modulation, that is digital modulation. First is if the information signal is digital and amplitude of carrier is varied proportional to information signal, a digitally modulated signal known as amplitude shift keying, that is ASK, is produced. And second is if frequency of the carrier is varied, frequency shift keying, that is FSK, is produced. And third is if phase of the carrier is varied, then phase shift keying, that is produced. If both amplitude and phase are varied proportional to the information signal, information signal means it is a signal that to be modulated, a quadrature amplitude modulation is produced. Now only in this lecture only we will see what is amplitude modulation. So the term modulation means to change or to modify. The interest in amplitude modulation signals in measurement systems is on account of two reasons. First is physical data that are to be measured, processed and interpreted are many a times amplitude modulated. And second, when carrying out dynamic measurements, the measurement system are intentionally designed to introduce amplitude modulation on account of various advantages. So it is a method of changing the amplitude of relatively high frequency carrier, normally sinusoidal wave, in proportion with instantaneous value of modulating signal. So it is to be noted that the carrier frequency remains same, only the amplitude that will be varied. So there are invariably two parts of any method of modulation. First is carrier. So this is the medium that carries the information. And second, that is signal, The signal is the information to be carried. So this is a diagram of amplitude modulation of sinusoidal signal. On a left hand side there is a signal that has to be modulated, and at the bottom there is a carrier wave which carries that signal, getting the output or modulated output. So in amplitude modulation, the signal or information modulates the amplitude of the carrier. Qualitatively, amplitude modulation may be defined as the modification of the amplitude of the carrier in proportion to the amplitude of the modulating signals. In general, the signal that modulates the amplitude of a carrier wave may be of any form. It may be single sine wave, a periodic function, a random wave, or a transient phenomenon. Similarly, the carrier may also be a different forms, that is, it may be a sine wave or a square wave. So in order to understand the concept of amplitude modulation, the simplest form is a sinusoidal signal modulating the amplitude of a sinusoidal carrier wave. The modulation process fundamentally is the multiplication of the signal carrying the information by a carrier wave of constant frequency and amplitude. So you can see the amplitude modulation process. So on a top you can see the modulating signal. The signal is to be modulated. Then the carrier frequency which carries the signal, and at the bottom you can see the modulated signal. Again, second diagram, that is a graphical representation of the amplitude modulation wave. First diagram that indicates the modulating signal, the signal is to be modulated. Then carrier signal which carries that signal to be modulated, and third one, that is a amplitude modulated signal. So amplitude of the carrier signal, it is varied, and frequency of the carrier signal, that will remains same. So first diagram that indicates the carrier wave, then the signal wave, and the output. So carrier, signal, and modulated output waveforms. The concept of amplitude modulation is used in carrier amplifiers. The output signals coming from transducers like strain gauges, etc., are extremely small, and therefore high gain amplifiers are used to produce perceptible outputs. But DC amplifiers have inherent problem of drift, and AC amplifiers does not amplify static and slow varying dynamic inputs due to their low frequency cutoff. This problem can be overcome by the use of amplitude modulation technique. Suppose the strain is to be measured with the help of strain gauge. This strain gauge forms an arm of Wheatstone bridge. The bridge is excited by a carrier voltage of 5 volt at 3000 Hz. So this is a setup for measurement of dynamic strain and frequency response of an AC amplifier. The bridge is excited by a carrier voltage of 5 volt at 3000 Hz. When the static strain is applied to the strain gauge, its resistance changes and an output varying at a frequency of 3000 Hz appears at the output terminals of the bridge. So this output can be easily amplified by an AC bridge. Suppose now we are interested in measurement of dynamic strains varying at a frequency of up to 20 Hz. The output of a bridge, that is the input to the amplifier, will be an amplitude modulated wave having frequency spectrum of omega 1 equal to 3000 minus 20, that will be equal to 2980 hertz, to omega 2 is equal to 3000 plus 20 is equal to 3020 hertz. So this range of frequencies can be easily handled by an AC amplifier and are reproduced faithfully with a certain gain. So this shifting of the information frequencies from one part of the frequency range to another form the basis of many useful applications of amplitude modulation. So this is a setup that is for measurement of dynamic strength and frequency response of an AC amplifier. So another advantage that is given. So there is an additional advantage of using amplitude modulation. Supposing the wire leading from the bridge to the amplifier circuit are subjected to a 50 Hz stray magnetic field produced by the surrounding wiring system and AC machines. This produces a 50 Hz noise or hum which is superimposed upon desired signals. If DC amplifiers are used, this 50 Hz noise could easily be greater than the desired output signals. However, with the use of carrier system, this noise may easily be removed by simply designing the AC amplifier that does not respond to 50 Hz signal at all. That is, the amplification factor is almost zero for 50 Hz input. Since the desired band of frequencies is between 2980 Hz and 3020 Hz, making the low frequency cutoff of the amplifier greater than 50 Hz is quite easy. Then next we will see amplitude demodulation. So it is a process of extracting the original information from a modulated wave. So when amplitude modulation is intentionally introduced in a system for data handling, it is used as the intermediate step. The amplitude modulated signal cannot be used to drive the final readout system as such because it is not suitable for this purpose. In fact, the original form of the signal, which is the output of the transducers, should be applied to the final stage, that is the data presentation stage of the instrumentation system. The process required for recovery of original signal from the modulated waveform is called demodulation or detection. The detection or demodulation of the amplitude modulated signals requires rectification of the modulated signal, followed by elimination of carrier frequency by proper filtering. The demodulation may be the half wave, full wave, phase sensitive and non-phase sensitive. So you can see the diagram. So the modulated signal that is shown, and then there is a half wave non-phase sensitive demodulated signal, then the half wave phase sensitive modulated demodulated signal, then next diagram is full wave non-phase sensitive demodulated signal, and last one that is a full wave phase sensitive demodulated signals. So this is regarding the modulation and demodulation. Thank you.